Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to get on, Mandy. Get it on. Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing the show. Tammy Pescatelli is back on the show.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming back. Tammy Pescatelli. I was thinking, I don't know why, but I was thinking of leather Tuscadero.
Yeah, a lot of people.
When I was walking in, sad. Means you're old.
Means
not you're old. It means I'm old. Yeah.
Where I slap. I mean, I loved Pinky. Leather was the girl you borderline. You knew that if she wasn't singing, she was the gym teacher.
Yeah, she was. This is Happy Days.
Yeah,
I think.
I guess that makes you part of the Malachi Crunch.
Yes, another Happy Days reference.
Yeah.
At some point, Happy Days got tired of whatever its original storyline was and started just pulling in all sorts of ancillary characters who all had their own thing. Leather Tuscadero had the hand slap on the thigh with like a snap and a finger point, and Chachi, Pinky Tuscadero had her thing.
Snap and like the two fists hitting.
And Scott Baio just had a bandana tied around his right thigh for some reason, like a tourniquet.
Wrong. He also had wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. I have a lot of useless information, Adam. Ask me any of that.
Nobody knows Happy Days better than you.
I know everything. I know anything that had to deal with Italian people, the weirdest thing, because my grandfather then would like those shows.
Oh, right.
Like, he used to think cartoons were ridiculous until Fred was Goggles Paisano. Right? Like, so it's just dumb things like that.
Wait, you said Fred? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Fred was Goggles Paisano.
Fred Flintstone.
Fred Flintstone.
Okay.
He was a race car
Not everyone
driver.
knows Fred.
Oh, sorry, just random. I'm referencing, we
Could
have
been
lunch.
a friend of your grandfather's or something. Yes, Fred Flintstone.
That's right.
So, Norman Lear, he just passed very recently. All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Maude. I mean, he just ran Hollywood for a million years.
A million years.
And he was a real kind guy. I don't know what that was.
No, that was lovely.
He was a sweet guy.
That was him getting his wings.
Oh,
I think that's
was
what it
the
was.
sound of
another
producer getting their wings. And he was relevant, I mean, at age 100. Like, he literally worked from the probably early 60s until 2022 and a half.
I heard that he was developing a show right now with Laverne Cox and George Wallace.
Yeah.
Who I thought were the same person.
Yeah, it's called Laverne and Georgie. He and a sweet guy, and it struck me that he came on to my show, which was my motivational show, called Take a Knee, as the second guest in 2014, I'm told. And I just remember a really interesting conversation with him. Now, the part I remember most is that his mom never became a fan of his, no matter how much success he had, no matter how big he got, no matter how many major sitcoms he was in charge of and created. She never gave it up.
She must have been Italian. She was an Italian type that you can't please.
Is that how they do it?
Oh, you can't please them. There's nothing left.
I think I don't know. She must, I'm assuming Jewish. But either way, we grabbed a 2-minute snippet from that conversation. So I thought.
This is not about your moms, though. This is about
this is about personal growth. But I thought we'd just do it as an homage to the great Norman Lear.
This conversation, I love this conversation as I might not have loved it 5 years or 7 or 12 years ago. And I understand it's me,
right?
Which I might not have understood those many years ago.
Well, isn't it incredible? And I always say the one thing that I feel like we squander is, as human beings separated from all the other species on the planet, is we get to change, we get to grow, we get to develop, and it never ends. The body starts falling apart at some point, but we get to keep evolving, and we squander this opportunity. So many people are locked into some adolescent reptilian version of themselves, and they just take it to the grave. And the fact that you're sitting here at age 92 and you're saying,
what?
You're saying 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been, emotionally open to something. Well, the notion of 5 years ago of being 87 and a bunch of growth happening between 87 and 92, and then you said 12 years before that. So when you were just 80, is something that I want people to hear. I want people to experience that.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I want to articulate it as boldly, loudly as I can. There are two journeys we're on, as I look at it. One is a horizontal journey. So you're a doctor and you learn more about this or that or the other thing, or you're a lawyer and you keep learning more on a horizontal level. And then there's a vertical journey, and that's entirely into yourself. And it's, of the two journeys, it's significantly longer and deeper and more enjoyable. I mean, it's the journey of journeys.
Yeah. What struck me is when I said to him at age 92 at the time, he was like, "Oh, I'm totally different than I was when I was 80."
Yeah, the only growth I'm going to have is probably warts or something. Like,
yeah, you're going to have growths that need to be lasered off.
It's like that's,
you're going to have skin tags, not a personal journey.
For sure. You know what's neat about, I don't know if neat is the right word, but look, he covered topics that were horrible. Like Edith Bunker got raped.
Oh, yeah.
They did racism. They did deaths. They did divorce. They did all kinds of stuff, yet somehow found that kernel of funny in it.
And worst off, blacks moving into the neighborhood.
Everything.
They tackled it all.
Everything. And the fact is that they don't allow us to do that anymore. You know, I was talking about some stuff that happened during the whole quarantine in my act with, I'm not going to do the bits for you, but like a guy came up to me after the show and goes, "Yeah, I don't want to hear about that because I think it's sad." And I'm like, "Yeah, but we have to talk about those things. That's how you get through it. Humor is what propels you through. If you take that then I'm not the person for you. You don't want to hear it, then I guess you're going to have to find someone who does, shucky ducky quack quack jokes or something. I'm not that one." And I think that he was such an anomaly. That where are those gems anymore?
Well, it's funny because I was thinking a bit about All in the Family, and I always sort of think about it as not only a really good sitcom that I used to watch when I was a kid with my family, and that hold up very nicely today, but a marker in our culture, civilization, and Hollywood, which was, and there's some. I'm on a similar journey in a sense, in that All in the Family centered around Carroll O'Connor, Archie Bunker. And he was the guy who was set in his ways and a little bit racist and kind of blue collar and represented sort of the old school.
He lived what he knew.
Yes. And everyone around him was the more progressive, who was moving into the future, where he was dragging his feet, not wanting to leave the past, right?
Right.
And we understood that the joke was on Carroll O'Connor. Like, he was the butt of the joke. He was the one who got his comeuppance at the end. He said all these horrible racial things. He did all this, he thought in this way. But at the end, it was a progressive sitcom made by a very progressive guy in Norman Lear. And somehow we've lost that joke and that math now, which is when you do a sitcom like that, we wouldn't do that now because we'd go, we're not going to have that guy.
Yeah.
We don't want that guy.
We don't allow complex characters. People are complex. Human beings are complex. He might have been all of those things, but we were allowed to see his heart. And
right, but we would label that a right-wing
for sure
a sitcom now. But
even,
it's not
today. If people talk about it, they just look at it like that has aged so poorly.
Right, but it was really way ahead of its time. It's like saying we can't make a James Bond film and have a Bond villain. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, you need the Bond villain so James Bond can shine.
Correct.
And defeat the villain. And you needed Archie Bunker so that he could be defeated by Meathead and Gloria and all the characters around him. Sammy Davis Jr. on occasion.
Yeah.
Like that now we want to do sitcoms where we get rid of Archie and replace him with another meathead, in which case we're all just singing from in the same chorus and there's no conflict.
Yeah, well, and I also think that people don't understand that most people are right there in the middle. They're not as extreme as Archie, but they're also not as extreme as Meathead. Everybody right now kind of just wants to do the right thing. I really see it. I see it. You're on the road. You see that most people have good innately, the good intentions, but they're just getting things shoved down their throat so much that they just explode when it's too much. Look at the... You could also say that this was like they say the Simpsons predict the future. Look at the theme song for All in the Family. Boy, what did it say? When girls were girls and men were men.
And we broke it down the other day. It was crazy. Yeah, boy, the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, back then we had it made. Those were the days. And
you knew who you were then.
Goyles were goyles and men were men.
Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again.
Didn't need no welfare state.
Everybody pulled his weight.
Gee, our old LaSalle ran great. Those were the days. Yeah, boys were girls were girls, and men were men, and we didn't need no welfare state. That was 50 years ago.
Crazy. I mean, literally, it's just insane anymore. And I don't know where that wasn't supposed to be a controversial statement either back then.
No.
You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Wasn't.
No, but
it's for the rhyme.
It's just, it's funny because I was just thinking about it because they just announced that I had an animated series called Mr. Burcham. And people hate me, but it's like Mr. Burcham is Archie Bunker. It's not a right-wing animated series. It's a guy who's trapped in a new world that he doesn't appreciate and didn't sign off on. He doesn't care. But everyone around him is in present time.
Yes.
He's the guy. And then people are like, we don't need this or whatever, right-wing, whatever. But I'm like, that's exactly what All in the Family was, you fucking retard.
Yeah, and that's why we have to stay that. And you have to stay the course on that and not let people, and I know where you're placing it, so that's where it's going to make sense. The key is to find a place that allows you to speak. People are so afraid. They are afraid to say anything. They're afraid to have an opinion on something. You're going to get canceled. So what if you get canceled? You'll come back and you'll find your audience, and people need people to say the truth. That's what they're craving, the truth. There are so many. My kid's generation, he's 15, right? Mm-hmm. They got to walk, it's an old expression, 2 feet in a shoe. You can't say that someone looks pretty because a girl will be like, whoa, what about I'm smart? Well, you got your tits out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, no one's looking at your brain. You can't say, you can't.
Well, you can't ask an Uber driver with an accent where they're from.
No. Literally, I said to a friend, oh, you look great. Did you get anything done? Oh, what is that supposed to mean? Are you ageist? Guess what? We're not friends anymore. I can't do this. If that's where you are in your life, I have to back out of it. I can't change who I am. If you don't know my intent, you don't know my heart by now, then forget it. And that's everybody's reading your tweets and your posts with the same ridiculous, their non-reading comprehension level. I don't know if you can read past the 7th grade level, and you're going to try to say what I'm saying to you.
Well, the know what's in your heart thing is the part that's super insulting. Which is, I was just talking to someone about this. Years ago, I went on some rant about feed your own kids, make them breakfast, don't have the school, make them breakfast. You need that with your family. You need that with your 8-year-old needs to know that mama is making lunch and breakfast for you. And then I repeated about 5 times, it's not about the money. I don't care about the money. It's not about the 99 cents LA Unified pays to slop these kids with the world's least nutritious meal ever. It's about the symbolism or whatever. And then at some point, Young Turks picks it up and they're like, Adam Carolla thinks kids should go hungry. And it's like, first off, between that or everyone's a racist or everyone's xenophobic or misogynist. It's so insanely insulting. Like, first off, the fact that my principle is I like kids to go hungry.
Yeah, well, that's
what
I
I
mean,
think. That's when
that's
I
why
wake
I'm
up in the
here.
morning, I think about kids going hungry, and I masturbate to it. I love it.
I was told that I was supposed to come here and just slap food out of kids' mouths.
Yes,
that's what I was
that's
told.
What the writer
that's what we were
says.
doing today.
Bring 'em in.
It's so weak. I mean, it's ultimately insulting, but it's also sort of borderline insane.
Well, well, you want to know why it's really insane? Really, really, beyond the fact that your baseline is comedy.
Yes.
Okay? Your baseline is comedy. Yes, some of our stuff is in truth, but it's comedy. They judge us harsher than they judge politicians.
Yes.
We're in comedy. Basically, I'm just trying. All I've done my entire life is to try to make your hour that you listen to me just a little bit better. That's it, right?
Well, to be fair to them,
No.
I will say that on one hand, all I do is, tell jokes. On the other hand, I mean every joke I say.
Well, sure. Because comedy is based in truth.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've been putting up clips of this special I did in 2005 where I used to talk about, it was a bit that I had called What the Hell is Wrong with You? And I said, don't you wish you could just walk up to the chubby girl in the half shirt and go, what the hell is wrong with you?
Right.
Like, put a poncho on. It's popular now. Well, that did not age well. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I'm getting all these embrace people as they are and all this. And I literally went home to my son and I said, listen, I don't care what these people say, but if you bring a girl home who's got her stomach hanging out because she's got a belly shirt on, or if she's dressed with booty shorts, and I'm going to cover her with a blanket. So know your audience. I did, you know what I mean? Like, people, what happened to people just saying what's right and wrong anymore?
Well, okay. Being obese or overweight is about the least healthy thing you can do for yourself and the populace at large. So this notion
Well,
of...
I think you just ruined it with at large. I think
At
that
large.
is a trigger
Say that.
word.
Yeah.
Yes, and the idea that we have to embrace all these overweight people and Lizzo and her backup dancers and everything is not helping them.
Yeah.
It's essentially, it's basically like all the groups that are advocates. Let's just say, like, I'm an advocate for homelessness, right? Mm-hmm. So you would like to take these people, scrape them off the sidewalk, and put them into some rehab facility. But I'm a homeless advocate, and I would like them to languish in their own filth on the street and OD on fentanyl.
Right.
How does that make me an advocate for this? How, when I say I'm an advocate for students of color, so I want to get rid of test scores and math scores and grading, and how does that make me an advocate for them? I'm hurting them. I'm an advocate for body shaming and body shape or whatever. So I'm going to tell these fat people, go ahead and get fatter because you're sexy at any weight. How the fuck is that an advocate for any... If I was an advocate for stray dogs, I wouldn't be like, let them run the
Just
streets.
let 'em go.
Let them run the streets.
Well,
eat out of dumpsters and get hit by a car. That's not a fucking advocate.
No, because people are so backwards with stuff. The fact is I take it from the other level. What is my motivation then for anything?
Yes.
Who was self-motivating? Why does it matter then? Like, I used to try to get ready to go do a television appearance. I'd go get a facial. I'd try to lose a little weight, get in shape, whatever it is. You try to wash your hair. What is the point? You ought to just roll out of bed. If I had any balls, I'd just roll right out of bed and whatever I got on, I'd not put a makeup on. And then what? Then I'd be brave.
Right.
Right?
You're a hero.
Then
Right.
you're brave. It just, what is the point of being smart if, the library's open for everybody. Okay?
Right.
You don't have to have a special pass to be smart. And people are like, literally, you can't say that because you're shaming. The shaming stuff, I'm just over it. I also come from a culture of shame. So shaming is good a little bit.
Oh, shaming keeps people in line.
Yeah.
Shaming. I was at LAX a few days ago. Young dude, I don't know, 30-year-old dude, 2 dogs with him. He's traveling with 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Somebody should have won over and shamed that pussy. He's got 2 fucking dogs, and they were nothing near service dogs.
Yeah.
They were little weird poodle things that were just running in a circle. He's traveling with 2 dogs. Now, that would have been impossible several years ago because of shame. And then the person who's next to that person, the woman who's wearing pajama bottoms and slippers at the airport, that would have been impossible because we would have shamed them out. And then later on the flight, that woman fighting another woman mid-flight would have been impossible because of shame.
Because they're too comfortable. If she had on pants that had a zipper,
yes,
she would have known that she was not at home.
Let me tell you, this movement, it's about 25, 30 years old, and there was a whole thing in the 90s that started with, you cannot judge. You can't judge me. You can't judge. And I, from day one, was like, fuck that. I'm judging my ass off.
Do you know
All
where
I
I think
do
it
is
comes
judge.
from?
Comes from fat people with dogs at the airport.
I did see a woman. I do a joke about my ex. I saw her with 2, and I actually went in and I said, "Why do you have 2?" And she said, "One's my calming dog, and the other is his calming dog." That was a real story, and I was like, "You shouldn't be allowed to walk out amongst the people. This is too much." You and I need to, maybe we should just go around and start shaming people, because let me tell you something. You can say that they don't shame, but they just don't say it out loud. They shame in their head. There's no way, because there is such a focus on image and beauty in this culture now. If there wasn't, there wouldn't be influencers who only put outfits on.
Influencers, yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Who make millions of dollars, who have thousands and thousands of more Twitter followers than I'll ever have after a 30-year career. Okay? If they didn't judge, they wouldn't be so focused on those things. The beauty industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. If people didn't judge, the Kardashians would have never been famous. You know, they just don't say it out loud.
No, look, judging, you cannot stop human beings from judging or profiling any more than you could stop them from flapping their hands if a bee was buzzing around their head. It's an impulse. It's built in.
Yeah.
It's hardwired into us. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And the fact that we tell everyone not to do it, or, the Dove soap company tells us what their definition of beauty is, which is the fat chick in her underpants bursting out of her bra with back fat, not down with it. No guys down with it.
I'm sorry you had to see that.
They don't want it. Well, you should have. You should have been in the bathroom if you're going to change your shirt.
You know how I know people judge? It's just very simple. When people get pulled over for a ticket, no one ever goes, "Oh, thank you so much." They always go, "Look at that guy. He's passing me. He's going way faster than I am."
Yeah.
They're judging. You're judging. You don't judge until it's you.
Yeah. Well, look, judging and profiling is important. And it's built in. And if you're walking down the street and you see a weird stray dog and they're kind of walking sideways and they look a little mangy, you might cross the street. Now, is that a good dog? Is it a nice dog? I don't know, but I'm profiling that dog. For every time you come up on a dog, you profile.
Yeah.
You walk all over the place. You'll see people walking their dogs. You'll be passing the dog, and you'll profile the dog and the owner, which is this dog wagging its tail? Does it want to say hi? Is it a breed that's a sweet breed? Does the owner look responsible and sort of sober and put together? Or is this a homeless guy and he's using lamp cord as a leash, and I don't trust this dog?
Hysterical.
And you then profile. And then you make your decisions accordingly, because practically and metaphorically, we all want to avoid being bitten by a dog. Bitten by a dog can stand for stabbed by a homeless guy. It can stand for anything. But I mean is you don't want to get bitten by the dog of life. And you thus profile. And when you go in your neighborhood and you just see someone you've never seen before, my son was telling me, he said, I was walking around the neighborhood the other day. I saw this guy I hadn't seen before, and he was acting weird. So he was profiling.
Yeah.
But profiling is a goddamn lifesaver. It's what they do it in Israeli airports, because they don't want terrorists blowing up the plane. They profile.
You had to. And if that's any sense of security at all, that's why there's a whole generation that are walking around with their headphones in, not paying attention. They're skipping around
They're
like they're in a
crossing the
Shangri-La.
street looking at their phone. Yeah.
Like they've been, you can always tell. This is a little bit, but like when a millennial has been in the bathroom and not when the toilet's not flush because in a public restroom because they don't even flush their own toilets anymore because they're so used to just standing up and it's all done for them.
I wonder what the breakdown. Now, there's plenty of urinals that don't flush. That's a dude thing. I don't know how many toilet bowls at the airport are not, but the problem is they do it automatically in some places and in others are manual.
Oh.
And now we got the wrong message because we think it's automatic.
So you just
I don't leave. I don't leave until it flushes. I don't leave that urinal. I'll push a button. I'll wave my hand in front of the thing. I'll drop my balls over the seeing eye laser at the top. I'll do anything to get that thing to flush.
Well, you can't because I saw this thing years ago. Ruth Buzzy said she cleaned more plain bathrooms than anyone because she didn't want someone to attribute it to her, the filth to her.
Ruth Buzzy from Laughing.
Yeah, probably the only one who's ever quoted Ruth Buzzy on this show.
Well, listen, I don't want to besmirch the memory of Ruth Buzzy.
Well,
I assume is gone.
No,
Ruth Buzzy's alive?
she's on Twitter.
She's on Twitter?
stop. You know what? I
Ruth
think you're right.
Buzzy's got to be
It's got to be Norman Lear age.
93?
87.
87.
No, that's hard to believe.
No, I'll tell you why.
You money.
But I'll tell you why Ruth didn't need to clean up the bathroom in the airplane. Ruth Buzzy's character was an old lady when she was 27.
Right.
Yeah.
Ruth Buzzy was not recognizable minus the hairnet, the old lady shoes, and the old lady smock she would wear, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Ruth Buzzy on a goddamn commercial flight just dressed like a 31-year-old human being. Nobody would know who Ruth Buzzy was because she was a character and we only recognized her as the old lady character.
Well, she must have just been a good person that she would clean up after herself.
God bless Ruth Buzzy. All right, Chris, we got this thing that Brad Williams sent us.
Yeah.
I love Brad.
Oh, me
Everyone
too.
loves Brad.
So Brad got an email. He's on some mailing list for bull riding. Mm-hmm. And
That seems hard to believe.
I know it does.
I just don't know how.
He rides sheep. He doesn't ride bulls.
Well, or maybe rodeo
Bulldogs.
clown.
Bulldog riding. So he's on a list.
Yeah, he's on a list, and so all the bull riders are trying to get everybody to come out to LA City Council because they were going to vote on a ban for bull riding.
The LA City Council is going to ban bull riding.
Yeah.
Yes.
At Saddle Ranch.
They literally, mechanical bulls. They literally just sit around and think about things to ban that nobody cares about.
This is what we need to do in LA right now.
Oh,
Yes,
my God.
we got schools that are failing. We have homeless all over the place, taxes. By the way, our roads are just filled with potholes. We have the worst roads in the country, but we got to take a stand on bull riding.
How about the last time I came to see you? I'll never forget. In Glendale, there was a naked man walking down the street
Yeah.
with the blanket, the wool blanket that they must have given him to cover himself up around his shoulders like he just got finished working out.
Yes.
So this is important.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is what we need to be
this
doing
is
right now.
really what they need to work.
So this happened yesterday, and people came out.
Oh, good.
There are people riding horses right outside
Good.
of the building.
Yes.
So I have the update here. So the LA City Council called for the drafting of an ordinance that would ban rodeos and city limits over concerns that the events are inherently cruel to animals. But the council said it would carve out exemptions for certain cultural and traditional activities.
so only American Indians can do it.
So they voted. They voted 14-0.
Wow.
Your girl, Councilwoman Nathia Rahman, was absent, but she was in favor of this motion as well.
Oh, wait, is she the retard who
Yes.
thought she should blame Toyota for catalytic converter thefts?
That's her.
Oh, she's
This
a
is your girl.
genius. You got to find that clip, Dawson. You just have to.
I want to see that.
Oh,
So-
it is brilliant. It is brilliant.
Yeah, so they are prohibiting rodeos as well as harmful practices, techniques, and devices or rodeo-related events. Councilman Bob Blumenfeld said, "Isn't this Los Angeles? Are we not the city of angels, the compassionate city
Oh,
that
my
leads?
God.
We usually set the trends, but not this time." So, but now we have an opportunity to catch up. And so they said they're basically going to ban rodeos, but
Perfect. Problem solved.
But they're going to carve out protections for traditional equestrian events practiced by Latinos
Oh,
and
of course, I knew that.
Mexican and Western United States livestock
It's just
herding
time
communities.
to move. Time to move.
You got to go because by the time
gotta
I
go.
come back the next time, you're not even going to be able to walk down the street. You're going to have to skip.
Yes.
Because you're going to offend people if you're not skipping and light on your feet.
Or mincing.
Yeah, so Monica Rodriguez, a councilwoman, she said that if we were to approve a blanket ban on all rodeos, it would directly impact
People of color?
communities of color.
Communities of
Yes.
color. That's all we do. Is
That's right.
While they hurt communities of color. You know,
Yeah.
like, shut the schools down for 2 years. Who's that impact? Communities of color. All right, we have this dunce. What's her name again?
Nathia Rahman.
I just like to revisit this kind
You
of
sure
stuff
do.
as much as I can. Here's her blaming Toyota for
All the catalytic converter thefts.
right because it's super easy to steal.
Responding to it with work, with urgency, with focus on actually addressing the issue, we say, oh, we'll just ban it. We'll just ban it and that'll be the end of it. Instead of actually thinking about what is going to address this issue in a very real way. In this case, I think one of the things that really infuriates me is that we have a company, Toyota, who makes the Prius, that essentially has a device on their cars, which is super easy to remove. It's basically the value of a MacBook, right? That is put in a place that is incredibly easy to access in your car. And then the thefts related to this issue have essentially all of the costs of that are given to us to bear instead of them having to manufacture.
All right, this bitch is
Jesus.
nuts. First off, what's easier to steal, a MacBook or something that's welded into your exhaust system in the middle of your car underneath it?
Well, you know that I own the mechanics garage, and we can barely
that's
get
right.
good and loyal mechanics. And I watch these videos, and I see how fast some of these guys work, and I'm like, do you want an application?
Yeah.
Like, I would love to have someone work this fast for me at
Thieves
the
are the
garage.
most motivated and most efficient, but you need a Sawzall or a cutting wheel, and you got to get under a car.
Yeah, you have to get
That's
underneath
not
there.
incredibly easy to steal, and I have no idea what Toyota could
Has
do to
anything
remedy.
to do
Has
with
no
this.
culpability whatsoever
She's a
in this,
moron.
and she's a fucking idiot. And like as I said, when we show this, she doesn't just make legislation about catalytic converters. She takes her 10-cent head and turns it toward outlawing bull riding now too.
She's going to ban Cadillacs.
She's going to have
'Cause she thinks
everything.
it comes on that.
All right, she's going to probably want to ban the Ford Mustang because of the using the word Mustang and the
Oh,
horse.
for sure. The Bronco, that's
the Bronco,
gone.
the Mustang.
Well, they should have banned Broncos after OJ. In the
After
South.
OJ.
Well,
The-
ban cordless Sawzalls as well. Just the fact that
Yes.
everything's cordless now.
All right. It's
too easy.
DFG's waiting in the wings,
Thank
right? We're going to
goodness.
play some JV or all balls, and we'll do that right after this. Meter. Oh, love these guys. Holiday season is here. We get to stuff our faces, and we get to shop. And there's a must-have tool for the cook in your family. And it also makes a perfect gift. It's Meter. It's a smart meat thermometer. Tracks the temperature of your meat and lets you know when it's ready to come out of the oven, the smoker, the air fryer, or off the grill. It's such a great piece of technology. You don't want to burn the stuff. You don't want to dry it out. You don't want it to be undercooked. That's where Meter comes in. Don't undercook, don't overcook that turkey this holiday season. What about the prime rib? Meter comes with cloud service for limited range, and you can monitor and cook while you're watching TV or running to the store. You know exactly where it is. Perfect tool for holiday cooking and the perfect gift. It's Meter, right, Dawson?
Shop Meter.com for the best kitchen tool out there and make this season stress-free. Use it for your holiday cooking or start shopping for your Christmas gifts. That's MEATER.com.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Not every family or community does gifts this time of year. Whether your family gives gifts during the holidays, I got a gift you should give to yourself. BetterHelp. Whether it's by starting therapy or just treating yourself to a day of rest, give yourself some love this holiday season. therapy is a very important part of my life. It always has been, and it helps. And then when you get right, the world sort of makes sense. So if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, convenient, it's flexible. You just fill out a brief questionnaire. You get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Take care of yourself this year. It's BetterHelp, right, Dawson?
In the season of giving, give yourself what you need with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Carolla today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Carolla. As we venture into our 15th year of podcasting, here's another memorable moment from the Adam Carolla Show's Ace Awards archives.
Hey, you've been a friend of mine for a long time. How about, you want to become a billionaire? How about this idea? Instead of the sound, screw the sound with the porn. I want the smell. Figure out a way to have your computer send out like smell.
Right. Yeah, it seems so doable. They have all those wizard plug-in things. You put them in the wall and it sends a little puff out every 40 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
It senses movement in the bathroom.
When it's houseful, she got a candle to smell like her cooler.
Right.
It's true.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want, to put a video on and then have it smell like Cannery Row.
Now, for some new memorable moments, let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Well, the Deaf Frat Guy is with us. Good to talk to you, Maverick.
Oh, yeah, that's the food.
Now, people should know, who may be newer listeners to the show, Maverick's not his real name. His name is Jason. But we know him as, in the frat, Delta Phi. He's the Deaf Frat Guy, but he goes, Maverick's his handle. His communications major at USC. Other guys, Poochie, Mike F., Mike P., Moose, guys there. He's the founder of the Delta Phi Gamma, which was founded in 2006. And the coat of arms, which I really enjoy, the insignia, it's a beer funnel, which represents joy. Yeah, it's up there. It is a potato gun, which represents strength. Flanking the herald is a jackrabbit, which represents virility and productivity. And a vomiting owl, which represents wisdom and purity.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just like when Harry Potter's mail calls in sick. Like,
Well, bro, time out. The green vomit also represents the bitterness, the bile, which represents the bitterness of the purge and the schism from the original hound. Well, I can't say their name or they'll fucking sue me.
He sounds like, there was a guy who used to book the St. Louis Funny Bone who had hair Al Canal, and that's who he's Al Canal. That's who you sound like.
Well, I think that's offensive when you make fun of Al.
Did I go too far?
I think you crossed the line.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
We have to
apologize.
shame you, yeah.
Please cancel me.
DFG, Deaf Frat Guy.
Hell yeah.
So, are we ready? You can shoot him a tweet at Deaf Frat Guy. You want to play some JV or all balls?
Let's do it, dude.
He's hammered all day long with Poochie Moose and Mike F. They chug some fruits, shoot potato guns, and then play ookie cookie. If something's bushy, he'll make the call. So now it's time for JV or all balls.
All right, JV or all balls. We're all going to play. It's a tough game because you can't really get into the mind of DFG.
Yeah, I'm excited because I don't even know.
Well, make your choice, make your case for your choice, and then we'll hear what Maverick has to say.
There's not a portal that I could opt out of?
No, you're in. Here we go.
To keep things interesting, to spice them up, I'm going to do a topic. You will vote on it, and then there will be a lightning follow-up on a related topic.
Okay.
So we'll start it off. The first one, fish tanks.
Fish?
Not the show, the thing that you have fish in the water, in your house.
I think fish tank, as I think about it, it's a kind of rich man, poor man thing. Like poor kind of white trash in Florida have that aquarium that's all fucked up.
Yeah.
And then super rich guys have the saltwater tank that's custom built. That's 5,000 gallons. You know,
Tracy Morgan.
You think of
picturing like Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon 3 with those
shooting
rich,
it out. Yeah.
But then there's also my cousin who has the small little one that's about the size of Shaq's shoebox.
You're
that is
making
all
my argument. Rich
green.
man, poor man. It's not a middle class item. Look, I like fish tanks. I was a little worried back during COVID when that guy drank the fish tank cleaner. But evidently we moved on as a nation.
Yeah.
But that was Trump encouraging him to drink fish tank cleaner, I saw on CNN.
It's all his fault.
So I had an aquarium for 10 minutes when I was a kid. The fish died. I couldn't keep after them. But it's an industry. I like that show where those guys work out of Vegas and make custom fish tanks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go all balls on the fish tank.
Yeah. Fish tanks are absolutely all balls.
Especially in like Chinese restaurants and stuff.
When you walk, that's how you know it's legit. When you walk into the restaurant, you get to choose what fish you get to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But also having fish, I love when you feed the fish and all the fish just decide to just swim up.
Mm-hmm.
You feel needed, you feel wanted. I think there's something very soothing about just watching fish swim around. That's why we have screensavers at our fish tanks and things like that too. It does something chemically to our bodies. So fish tanks, absolutely all balls.
See, I don't know, because aquariums, they haven't really banned them yet. I guess that lady from your city council hasn't seen them.
They're next.
Cleveland, where I'm from, we have one with one shark just one shark who probably got pissed he got traded to Cleveland. I don't, I got to tell you the truth.
What is the shark's name?
Frank. I don't know what his shark's name is. Frank Lagaiza. I almost say JV because you can get. When I was a kid, you used to be able to get a little fish tank with your sea monkeys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a bowl. Yeah, but yeah.
No, it was like they would send you the little plastic.
Well, was it? Did you plug it in?
No, you didn't have to plug it in.
That's a fish ball.
So that's a fish.
Yeah, it's just still.
All right, so then I'm going to go. You guys convinced me. I think I'll go with you with all balls. Plus, it's fun to say.
You don't have to.
If you were like younger and you were married and you were going to date a guy and he brings you to his place and he has a big old fish tank, is that a turn on? Is that?
No, I would think that would be a place where he was going to drown me. And then, I think he was
then have sex with your lifeless
right,
corpse.
Then my head is going to. I just picture it. My head being in there and fish flying in and out next to the treasure chest. I guess it is I guess it's. I'm going to stay with I'll go back to the JV.
All right. Mav?
Spending your whole life in a cage is like always having to wear a rubber, never knowing the freedom of going bareback.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need to let the hog get out, get some fresh air. But with a fish tank, you get to play God. Hell yeah, all balls.
All balls. Wow. You get to play.
Okay.
You get to play God.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, but he really got me with the rubber and feeling the hog.
He paints a picture.
Yeah.
The follow-up lightning round, playing God, all balls or JV.
I'm a fan of playing God. People accuse people, this guy's playing God. Like every time there's a liver transplant or a heart transplant or even a paramedic shows up at an accident, gives someone chest compressions and saves them, or get the defibrillator out at the airport and whack the guy, you're playing God.
Yeah.
Essentially. So I like playing God. I wish more people played God.
I was a big fan of the Alec Baldwin quote from that horrible Nicole Kidman movie. You say I play God, I am God. But then he actually was God and killed somebody. So
I'm going all balls.
All balls
on playing God, Chris.
Yeah, I'm all balls on playing God too. I mean, we're just playing God.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, all balls playing God. Just don't fly too close to the sun.
Well, gotcha.
Icarus.
All right.
So the next.
Yeah.
I don't know what the scores are right now.
Well, but, I think. Tammy, what did you vacillated? But
I'm 2-1.
You're 1-1.
I mean 1-1.
Yeah. 1-1. Okay.
I'm cheating.
Okay, so here's our next one. This is Okay. An air of mystery. Like,
I thought there was more coming.
I felt like, but see, he's hearing impaired, so sometimes his cadence is off-putting.
but like a lady who cultivates an air of mystery.
An air of mystery.
Okay.
All right. I like where your head's at, Mav, with the air of mystery. I've always said in relationships, a little less history, a little more mystery. I think people share, like how many partners they've been with, or this one time something horrible happened to them sexually or
I love
something.
that.
I don't have. So
I've
say
never wanted to know that.
I don't either. And then once you know it, you can't unknow it, you know? And for some reason, there's a lot of sexual sharing that goes on. And then a lot of them are like, you know, your girlfriend, you worship her, you adore her, and then she's telling you some story about drinking too much at a frat party and having like 3 guys team her while she was passed out or something. And you go like, okay. You're a victim. I feel horrible, but now that's in my head.
Yeah, it's too much. You can also tell, like, if a girl is crazy, if she's got stuffed animals in her car, you pretty much are clear that her uncle touched her at some point.
Well,
yeah,
especially now, like this newer generation, they're very open. They want to. They want being
celebrity women are bragging about how many abortions they've had into a microphone.
Right.
Like more. I'm sticking with my thing. Less history, more mystery. I'm going all balls.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go with you because I grew up that you were a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets or whatever. You know what I mean? You were supposed to keep that to yourself. A little mystery, right?
Chris?
A little mystery.
I'm with you. I love less history, more mystery. I've always thought about it, and I appreciate it. And I think more people, because I don't like all the girls who are just like, I'm a slut, and I want everybody to know it. And it's like very cool to talk about all the guys that you've slept with. And look, it's fine if you do with all your girls and all that stuff. I don't want to know. I just don't want to know personally.
Yes, and I think we need to draw a distinction. Maybe it's a theme for today's shows. I don't want to know doesn't mean I want you imprisoned for doing it.
Correct.
And it doesn't mean you're bad for doing it. I'm just saying I don't want to know.
I'm good with that.
Like, I want to go to the ball game and enjoy a hot dog. I don't want to go to the rendering plant and see how it's made. I want to enjoy it. That's all. No judgment.
Yeah, I just don't need you to have like a McDonald's sign over your vagina saying over 3 billion served. Let it go.
All right, Mav, we all say all balls.
Show me who I'm dealing with. If I want mystery, I watch Agatha Raisin, bro. JB.
Oh, man. All right. We all took a hit there.
Oh,
He got to know.
You want to see...
I don't want to trick up anybody's sleeve.
To be fair, he's short of sense.
Yeah.
So he needs to have a little bit more explanation.
Mav is short a sense, but his others have been heightened to compensate for it.
I still think that...
He sees like a hawk.
So I just got hired. I have a side hustle now where dudes will, if there's it's nasty, but if there's a dead mouse in the wall, they bring me over. I could smell exactly where it is.
Right. Oh, right.
Wow.
Right.
It's good skill.
Right.
Be
Yeah,
great
because
for
your
the
sense of smell is so keen.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania Department of Highway could use you for all the dead deer on the side of the road over there.
Well, they can spot those. He has to come in and sniff them
Just
out.
sniff it like the stud finder?
Yes.
He's like the stud finder.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, that's a side hustle, huh, Mav?
Who knew? And with a nose like mine, I should have been able to do that a long time ago.
You have to have the other senses go in order to heighten that. So. That's the problem. Good on you, Mav.
With AI, they're just cracking the surface of what scratch and sniff technology is capable of.
AI is gonna rejuvenate that industry. All right. Well, we took a hit there, but everyone took it equally. Here we go.
The follow-up, Cozy Mysteries.
Cozy Mysteries?
Yeah, like Agatha Raisin or Grant Chester.
I thought it was Agatha Christie. Isn't it Agatha Christie?
Christie.
Agatha Christie?
I thought he was trying to be funny.
She wrote it, but there's one called Agatha Raisin.
Oh, okay.
Mystery where like nobody gets hurt or like to watch it with you.
Nobody gets killed. They just.
I mean, that Glass Onion movie was very popular.
Yes.
You know?
And Then There Were None was a great book.
Yep. And even that Jennifer Aniston, Adam Sandler Netflix thing where they were like turned into sleuths in Europe and stuff. It was fun.
Those are fun.
They're fun watches, but people do get killed.
Yeah, well, and they smoke, and that's a problem now, too. They have to put a warning that there's nicotine usage in the movie.
I do not like mysteries or cuddling up with a good book. Same way I don't like people who hold their coffee mug with two hands and savor it.
Okay, now I'm nervous.
I don't like it. I would never. My idea of a good night is turn on the TV and pour a drink.
Wait, have you ever tried it, though? Because I think you always say you don't like it because it doesn't exist. Nobody ever does it.
It does in Folgers commercials where the mom wakes up early at the lake house before everyone else does and does the two-handed mug hold. I'm not a reader, and I've never read, and I don't like fiction reading, so I'm gonna go JV.
I'm going all balls. I think cozy anything, especially this time of year. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. I want to hold my mug like that and walk out into the backyard and see the steam come out of my coffee and inhale it.
Okay.
So I'm okay with it.
Tammy?
Yeah, I'm going to go JV because I think that. Well, wait. If you like it, you go JV, right? I'm
No,
sorry that I'm
JV's
new.
lame.
Okay, lame. No, I'm going all balls because I am so uncomfortable at all times. Everything in this life right now is so uncomfortable for me. I don't know whether to speak out loud. I don't know whether to move. I can't. Your car is bad. I can't get in. They're going to force us to have an electric car. I got to drive 500 miles. I'm supposed to sit for a half hour to let it charge up. I can't. I'm going all balls. I think I want to be cozy as possible.
You seek coziness.
I do. I can't sleep at hotels because I'm afraid crazy people are bursting in or someone killed themselves the person before.
Yeah,
so,
have a mellow, cozy night.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Tammy, listen. The only time you should hold a cup with two hands is when you got the DTs and you're seeing pink elephants, bro.
But that was Adam's thing. You didn't preface
She
that.
wants cozy.
Adam brought that
Go
up.
ahead, Mav.
I like my mysteries like my eggs, hard boiled. I need dead hookers and like swarthy dudes with accents. Hell yeah.
All right.
JV.
JV.
All right.
JV.
Adam's in the lead.
Yeah.
The next question. Giraffe.
Am I the only one who
the
thinks this is the craziest
animal.
thing you've ever
You better start taking it seriously because you're falling behind.
I really
you're
am.
You're up here laughing and
It's not good for you,
losing.
Tammy.
Okay.
So giraffes.
Giraffe, the animal with the long fucking neck.
Giraffe. Oh, that giraffe. Okay.
Yeah.
The giraffe.
All right,
Very
I'll go
mystical.
first on this one. I'll say
They have that
JV.
super long neck.
Yeah.
I'll say JV because you can't make any coats out of there. There's no fur giraffe coats.
Right.
The worst they can do is bite you. They can't hide. They can't blend.
No.
So I'm going JV on the giraffe.
Yeah, they got this super long tongue and they lick kids who are standing by the fence sometimes with this crazy long tongue. You ever see the giraffe tongue?
Yeah,
Like
very
the Chris Hansen Predator kind of.
Yeah, they lick kids. Yeah.
So gross.
And they can get to you from anywhere, you know what I mean, because of the length of the neck. And you're right. If we could ride them or harness them somehow,
Yeah.
or even train them to pick apples or do something, you know what I mean? Like I like a beast of burden. I like something I can ride, something who can drag logs, something I can eat, some pelt I can wear.
Right.
You know, the reality is we have a society where most people and most kids prefer a giraffe to a cow, but yet you had hamburger last night, you're wearing leather shoes, you get so much out of a cow, but they're not as appreciated as
Yeah.
a giraffe.
And the giraffe is kind of cocky the way they chew their food, like they just are expecting you to feed them all with that kind of sideways chew, like
And I
you
think-
bitch, you just.
I I think some zoo in Russia or something killed one recently and chopped it up and like fed it to the lions, and then
Well-
all the chicks were pissed off. Like, that's a giraffe, whereas you did it with a cow, they wouldn't care.
They are ruthless.
I-
I love
And
it.
not only do they not really provide much function or practical use for humans, but if we ever need to like transport them, they need a special everything. They need a
Oh.
custom everything.
That's right. They don't
because they're just
fly.
so oddly shaped.
They don't fly coach.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
I think we've all gone JV.
JV.
On the giraffe.
Well, maybe what you didn't know is that they are the dudes, males can weigh 2,600 pounds. They could run 37 miles per hour. 37, dude. Imagine that.
In what,
dude,
girls'
a
track?
giraffe on the football field.
Oh, it's true.
Catching passes, wrecking dudes. Dude, they can kick. They can Okay, not only can they kill a lion by kicking it, their freaking toes are so sharp they cut the lion's head off when they kick it.
Yeah, see, I didn't
The
think
only
about.
thing that can really, like, when they drink water from the river, a croc will be weighted and just latch onto that big neck. But, dude, it can kill a lion, man. I mean, the thing is pretty badass.
Yeah, I think we were thinking about giraffes in captivity, but they're pretty
Right.
cool in the wild.
Yeah, I don't
And
think,
I didn't even think about giraffes playing football. I mean,
No, I didn't
imagine all the
either.
field goals blocked.
Yeah,
I just kept thinking of
no.
llamas as the actual kickers. I wasn't thinking that giraffes would be.
37 miles an hour. What's the four? That's like a 2.240 or some shit.
Yeah,
they-
Ohio State should draft a giraffe.
Giraffe. Listen, the fastest the NFL runners run when they put the clock on is like 22 or 23 miles an hour. So this got it beat by 15 miles an hour. We didn't think it out.
Yeah.
We didn't think it out.
I'm so enlightened, I guess.
Yeah.
Even like the highest off the mark pass, this thing would catch it in its mouth or or with its ear.
Yeah, we didn't think about the professional
know.
sports
Of
application.
all of the animals they have shown in horrible movies playing sports,
They never used a
from
giraffe.
dogs and baseball and they never used a giraffe. That is brilliant.
Yeah. All right, so you got to make the call, though, DFG.
All balls.
Okay.
I think it would be dude, it would be an awesome movie about this thing getting a scholarship first to a NCAA, a program. It doesn't make the team, but then it does.
It walks
And
on.
then it goes pro, makes a shit ton of money. It kind of becomes a dick. It gets cocky, but then it, comes back down and like chills out, and then they win the big game.
Yeah, and then
I'd
it
like to watch.
sues its founders, the people that helped him get there, the couple
Yeah,
that put him
like the
up
Blind
on the
Side.
couch,
Yeah.
right? Like Michael Orr, and then sues
right.
him for $10 million because they're going to extort and tell the story.
And there are no rules in the rule book that say you can't have a
Giraffes.
giraffe on the team.
Yeah, I found that out when Disney had that mule that kicked field goals. There's nothing in the book.
No.
You show me in the book
Where
that-
it says a
where it
mule
says
can't kick a field goal.
All right.
There's no rule in the book against having a giraffe on your team.
That's
right.
what we're saying. Yeah.
But he can't hear you,
No,
so it's great that he can.
Yeah. Go ahead, DFG.
Dude, all balls. That would be a kick-ass movie, dude. That would be bigger than Barbie.
Yeah, you're right. It would. It would. He's right.
He could bang Barbie at the end. It
That's
would be
right.
lovely.
Hell yeah. But so the follow-up, so Crocs are super tough. You guys all said JV because it looks stupid.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But I got to go all balls. But you know what can kill a croc? And here's the follow-up: electric eel. But are electric eels all balls or JV?
Electric eel is all balls to me. I spent my childhood watching cartoons where an electric eel bit the guy, and the guy, light bulbs went off in his ears and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Electric eel was a big part of my childhood. They're kind of gone now.
It's as big as quicksand.
Quicksand.
Oh, yeah, quicksand.
Killer bees.
The tsetse
electric
fly.
eels. There was a lot of
Venus
stuff.
flytrap. Come on.
Venus flytrap, Mexican jumping
Jumping
beans.
beans.
There was a lot of stuff in the 70s that's gone.
Spanish fly.
Spanish fly.
Yeah.
I know, dude, his girlfriend killed herself on the stick shift of his Mustang when he just went into the liquor store for a minute because she was so horny.
Oh.
Because of the Spanish fly. Remember that, Mav?
Yeah, she went missing at the party, and they went looking for her, and they found her dead on the gear shift.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I mean, that's effective.
She got so horny.
She put Spanish fly in her drink. She didn't
Jeez.
know it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go all balls.
I think electric eels are JV.
What?
Just to stay consistent with my cozy mysteries. They wouldn't be in any of my cozy mysteries. They're too dangerous. I don't like the idea of electricity and water mixing. So,
All right, Tammy.
No, I'm
JV.
going with electric. I think that's all balls. When you have two E's in your name, two vowels to start it off,
Lovely.
That's
and
right.
you can be tough. Come on now. You don't know most errands, not tough.
Yeah, two
Right.
A's. Right.
Yeah, so I got to go all balls.
So I'm with Chris Laxamata.
all right.
Dude, you have to decide if you are an eel or a car battery, bro. JP.
Oh, man. I'm really
Pick a
taking a
lane.
hit. All right, let's do one more, Mav.
Okay, one more. I just want to give a shout. R.I.P. to Lionel Dahmer. You know, Jeff's dad.
Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer's dad died?
Yeah, now I have one less follower.
Oh, that's
R.I.P.
sad. He did such a wonderful job of rearing that child.
Yeah.
When
Paid such attention.
when did he pass, Mav?
I thought Jeffrey Dahmer was reared in Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Sorry.
that's a joke,
That's a
dude.
joke. Reared, right.
I guess he passed yesterday.
All right. Well, when I watched entertainment shows tonight, it's going to be him and then Norman Lear.
Yeah.
And maybe Kissinger.
Yeah,
you know?
equal time. Yeah.
Yep, equal time. All right, do one more, Mav.
Here's the last one. It's dudes or grown men who have difficulty forming friendships later in life.
Okay. Guys that have difficulty forming friendships later in life.
Jeez.
I think it's JV.
I would almost say that it's all balls because you get to a certain point where you've told all your stories and it's hard to catch someone back up.
Oh, I
understand that it
think
happens. I
telling
just-
someone all your stories is why you need fresh blood. Right? I didn't heard anything about my high school football days. You know what I mean?
You're Al Bundy, 4 touchdowns in one game.
Poke high. That's right. So, just to be clear, Mav, making friends at an older age would be all balls. And sorry. Making friends at an old age is the description of what the ability to do that.
Yeah, these are the dudes that can't make friends later in life.
They can't make friends later in life.
Or they don't want to.
Hey,
Right.
Did you hear the way he said that?
Yeah.
Are you talking about yourself, Mav?
Why would you say that?
Well, I mean, it's been a while since you've been
Witchcraft.
at the frat.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're keeping
Bros
in.
before hoes.
Yeah, I get it. But are you keeping in touch with Poochie and Mike F. and, oh, God, Douchebagel and all the other guys? Or
Well, Douchebagel went to fight for the IDF in Israel.
shit. Wow.
Douchebagel.
Wow.
Poochie's killing it at Wall Street.
He's killing it where?
Wall Street.
Poochie's uncle,
Yeah.
Poochie's uncle, I had to sort of give him a timeout.
Poochie's uncle?
It was too much.
Well, he's the
Yeah,
one who
like-
has the
Too much.
testicular torsion problem, right? Where he sat on his nutsack and had some issues, right?
Yeah, it's like I got him a fucking harness for his birthday. And he called me up. He's like, dude, can you pick me up? I'm in the ER. I sat on my nuts again. I'm like, dude, why didn't you wear your harness, bro? The guy, it's like,
Wow. I didn't
Sir,
mean
I'm
to.
done.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go there.
I love the dude. I love Poochy's uncle. I'm done.
Right. So you
No.
bought him a
now.
scrotal truss so he wouldn't sit on his nutsack, but he didn't wear it.
It's like one of those braces they wear for scoliosis when you're a
Well,
teenager, but on,
they have
on
like-
their thing to hold it
They have
close
like
to you.
hernia trusses.
Yeah.
But they
It's like,
have them for scrotums.
Sit on your nuts one time, shame on you.
Right.
Sit on your nuts 2 times, shame on you. Sit on your nuts 12 times, so shame on me. No, shame on you, dude.
Yeah. Especially after you're so generous with your gift.
He's nut shaming.
Well,
Why is this my fault? He said he didn't like the harness because it was like the leather, like scraped his skin.
chafing. Yeah. All right. Listen, I didn't mean to take a turn for the personal. Let's steer it back toward the game.
Okay.
I'm sorry about you and Poochie's uncle falling out and his nutsack falling out
During
as
the
well.
holidays.
But I'm confused to how to answer this question, but I think people who don't make friends at an older age are JV.
I thought they were JV, but if DFG falls into this category, I'm going to say they're all balls.
Yeah, well, and I have to stick with the original all balls because I think there's something about someone knowing you your whole life, and sometimes you just get too busy to make new friends. Put your time in with your kids, with your spouse, with whatever it is, yourself. Sometimes you don't have to reach outside of yourself. So I'm going to say all balls.
All right, Mav.
I think I agree with you. It's like, if do you want to have friends later in life or not? If you do want to make new friends, I don't know what the answer is.
Wow.
Join a frat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
JV.
Join a frat for old dudes.
So we
Or go back to your frat.
JV or all balls, Mav?
JV, join a frat, bro.
All right. I
Okay.
think I got that one.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
won.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
You
Ace got it.
You
I agree. I changed my thing. I agree with Ace at the end. He could,
He
change
can
my
be
mind.
influenced. I
Called
didn't
an
realize.
audible.
Yeah, you have an insight on this.
I've known the
that
man
is-
for 25 years.
Yeah.
I
I'm
know
just
Maverick.
saying there
You
is
just met him.
something. Yeah.
You
that-
met him today. I've known him for a
Wow,
while.
you are the whisperer.
Was there a follow-up, Mav?
Yeah. The follow up is speaking truth to power.
was JV or all balls.
Well, we got to give an answer, Dawson.
I think that's
Thought he just
it's a
did.
mystery.
Huh?
Speaking truth to power, JV or all balls.
Yeah, we got the follow-up. All right. It's JV. It gets trotted out, and by the way, it's like speaking truth to power. It's all the people who are in fucking charge, making
Yeah.
all the noise and getting everyone canceled, who are speaking truth to power. It's never a power. You know, I would always say here in LA and California, all through COVID, these fucking pussies who were like yelling at everyone to put their mask on and get their vax and shut down schools thought they were speaking truth to power. You were the power.
Right.
It was the little businesses you were shutting down.
Yeah.
And the man was not Donald Trump. The man was Gavin Newsom. He's the governor, and he shut down the fucking state. So speaking truth to power is an important thing to do, but you bitches don't do it. You're the power, and you trot out this old saying as if you're not in charge. You are in charge.
Agreed. They act like it's something that they should embroider on a pillow, like it actually really is the truth. We want to hear the truth.
Yes.
But just not from you. Because you're not telling the full truth. You're only telling your truth.
Well, let's just take something easy like COVID. Anybody, any doctors, any virologists or scientists or anything who formed the Great Barrington Declaration, who basically said, all they said was, we're handling this wrong. We shouldn't be shutting down society. We shouldn't be shutting down schools. We should be finding vulnerable people, the elderly and sick people, and focusing on them, not shutting down 8th grade classes.
Correct.
Those people were shut down and deplatformed by the asshole hypocrites who always talk about speaking truth to power. Those guys did speak truth to power, and you guys got them kicked off of Twitter.
Yeah, well,
but they don't use those terms. You, who gets them deplatformed, uses those terms like you're fucking heroes. So fuck off. It used to mean something good. You guys have usurped it and destroyed it, and it no longer means anything. And if somebody said, I want to set you up on a blind date with someone who speaks truth to power, I'd go, fuck that bitch. I don't want to be near her. So,
do you know
JV.
That I literally got into huge trouble because, look, I have a son. He's 15. When he's 18, he has to sign up for selective service. You have to. It is a law. They don't prosecute a lot of people for signing up for if you don't, but they can prosecute you. It was enacted in the 60s for the draft, in case a draft ever needs to come back. We've also ruined pride, so we have seen the last volunteer military in this country. The next war that we have, it's going to be a draft, and you can bet your money on it. The fact is that he has to sign up. If you don't sign your kid up, your male son, they aren't eligible for any student loans. They can't get any kind of government job. Besides what, and that you have 10 years to do it. They have to do it from 18 to 28. It has to be done.
JV or all balls, Tammy? Okay,
well, I'm just saying that women don't do it. So it's definitely JV.
Well, just because I'm down by one, I'm going to say it's all balls, just to play the game here. So, yeah, let's.
That's why we need to write the answers down. But
Sorry.
Okay, 2 JVs, 1 all balls. Mav?
Quit like the matter. You flew too close to the sun, bro. JV. I don't even understand what it means, dude.
I don't know what it means either. Mav, let me give you a plug. You can shoot him a tweet at Deaf Frat Guy. And now we can play the outro, Dawson.
That was JV.
Oh, yeah,
or all balls.
Oh, yeah.
All right, DFG, always a treat. And I love playing the game. Let's have you back soon.
Hell yeah, bro.
All right. Deaf Frat Guy, or Maverick, or Jason.
Yeah.
This is,
You're like Ghost to his Maverick, then. You got it.
Yes.
You are Ghost.
Yep, I'm his navigator.
Yeah.
He's the pilot. All right, we'll take a break, come back with the news right after this. Electric e-bikes. Well, I've gotten some amazing gifts in the past. I mean, Kimmel, he's a great gift giver. But if you want to get the best gift ever, or give the best gift ever, electric e-bikes, best-selling e-bikes in America, starting at just $7.99. Friendly on your wallet, plus hundreds of dollars in free accessories when you purchase this holiday season at LECTRICE bikes.com. I have electric e-bikes. I ride them all the time. My son and I take them out. We'll take them out on Sundays. It's just a pleasure, and they work, and they move you through the city fast. Electric has bikes for everyone in the family, from the passenger-ready Expedition Cargo to the XP Trike, creating lasting memories with the family. Or escape the holiday season and chaos for some me time. It's just freeing to ride one of these electric e-bikes. Ships free, comes fully assembled, and is foldable for easy travel and storage. Do what I do. Get this electric e-bike. You'll love it. Right, Dawson?
Get hundreds of dollars in free accessories with any electric e-bike purchase this holiday, including America's best-selling e-bike, the XP 3.0. Visit electricebikes.com to find the electric model for you. That's LECTRIC ebikes.com.
Let me tell you about Angie Homeowners. You know, it's a lot of work to own a home. Whether it's everyday maintenance, repairs, or dream projects, it can be hard to even know where to start. All you need is Angie. Your home for everything home. Find a skilled local pro who will deliver quality and experience. Over 20 years of home service experience. Bring them your project online or with the Angie app. Answer a few questions and Angie handles the rest. Look, you're busy. You don't have time to do all this stuff. Let Angie handle it. Take care of just about any home project in just a few taps. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit online. Visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com. ANGI.com. That's Angie. Let them do all the heavy lifting.
Things happen, you know, when you get married. We just went through something and we stuck through it. He got really sick and we had to have a conversation I wasn't prepared to have. He said to me, if something happens to me, I want you to know it's okay with me if you get married again. And I was like, I didn't even want to get married this time. What are the odds I get knocked up at 48 years old? 48, for all of you trying to figure it out. Then I realized, he was like, come on, take it seriously. I knew what he wanted to hear, so you got to give that to your partner sometimes. I said, listen, no matter what happens, for as long as I walk this planet, there will be one man who calls me his wife, and that's you. Because what am I supposed to say? Oh, give me Mike's number in case you're in a coma?
Tammy Pescatelli is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Her podcast, The Cop and the Comedian, is available wherever you find finer podcasts, and Way After School Specials, the name of the very funny stand-up special. You can find that available on Amazon Prime. All right, we'll do a little news, shall we?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, so Time has just named their Person of the Year for 2023.
Uh-huh.
Do you know who it is, Adam?
Let's
No,
guess.
I don't. I mean, I got their 30 under 30 thing. I don't know what publication that
I think
was.
it's Forbes, I think.
Forbes.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Can I give you a couple options?
Dylan Mulvaney. Something just to get me to kill myself.
That was Forbes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think. So here are a couple options. King Charles III.
No.
Barbie.
Yes.
That feels,
Trump prosecutors.
That's it's
maybe,
weird, but it's too many. I mean, I get it
It'll
where
be
they're at
Barbie.
politically, but yeah.
Xi Jinping.
No.
Hollywood strikers.
I can see him in a kiss-assy way doing that, but
Yeah. Vladimir Putin.
but let's be straight. The man or person of the year does oftentimes. I mean, I think like Hitler got person of the year or
Right,
something like that.
I think the COVID virus got person of the
the
year.
most impactful, not necessarily the best.
Right.
Oh, it's Barbie.
All right.
Taylor Swift.
Oh. Oh.
Keep going.
Jerome Powell. Sam Altman.
Oh, for Sam Bankman Altman or for Sam Altman, Sam Freeze, or was that? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Sam Altman. Do you know
He's
who
the
that
guy
is?
who led like the AI, did all the AI
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Oh.
All right.
Okay. Well, it's Taylor
Oh,
Swift.
by the way, they shouldn't have
it
11
Taylor- I was
choices.
gonna say-
It's
Yeah.
Taylor
Yeah.
Swift,
The
right?
moment you
Taylor
said
Swift.
that, you
I
broke
was
the
going to
curve.
say it because she's a female, so I think they like that. And B,
Yeah.
she's just completely destroyed it this year. Like nobody's had a bigger 1 year than her.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that like it's a cross-generational thing. Like when an old man, Norman Lear, a 101-year-old person, not Norman, but knows who she is, and a little kid, like especially with the football thing. That I mean,
Well, now here is an interesting proposition.
tell me.
And maybe the reason a Taylor Swift can sell out SoFi Stadium 7 nights, or wherever mega dome she's selling out multiple nights, in the past, we didn't build our culture and our society around fucking kids. Kids were just kids.
They had no dollar.
Seen and not heard.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They had no worth. They had no purchase. They were just fucking kids. And kids, when I was a kid, were considered a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Thus, the term "take it outside." Everything you did when I was a kid, with some adult would go, "Hey, you take it outside." Like they meant leave,
Yeah.
go outside. You could be sitting there studying the Torah quietly, and they'd be like, "Take it outside." Like somebody,
Yeah.
you'd be sitting there putting Legos together in your room alone, and some dude would come in smoking, yelling, "Take it outside."
Yes.
So they wanted kids to leave. And, you know, if they're in the car, there's like, shut up, stop talking. Your mom and dad are talking, whatever it is. There was no value in kids. They were considered a drain on the family. And now kids are worshipped and adored. Everyone has to fucking talk about what their kid is, where they're going, what college they're going to, what they're up to. The simple fact of a sporting event. Like, I was out to dinner with my daughter last night, and we're recounting this time when we went to Vegas, and I wanted to go see Mariah Carey with her and her mom, but my son had a basketball tournament when he was 9, and they were playing 14 games.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, you've seen 9 games, now we got to leave and go watch Mariah Carey, who's, by the way, a professional.
Yeah.
These fucking kids suck.
Right.
They've lost 9 games in a row. Let's go see. It's like, no, they're playing an 11th game. If they win the 10th game.
Traveling.
You kidding with my parents? The
Custodians.
notion of going, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, we're going to Arizona for the weekend, and you have to watch me kick a soccer ball for 19 hours? They would have been, I'm going to fucking stab you with this
and you
fireplace
have to pay $400
gotta buy a
a night in a hotel. You got to
Oh.
pay. We're all whole
right.
family. The other, I think, also divorce. I think it's a different time. When we were kids, people stayed together. They were miserable.
Yes.
But so when they separated, who wanted to be the fun dad? Who wanted to be so they started doing things with the kids so they could garner favor. And I think that's what kind of ruined it. That's what ruined
I wish my
it.
parents tore a fucking page out of that playbook, but
Right.
no, they didn't do that. They didn't compete with each other.
Yeah, they didn't.
I wish they would have, but they did not. But
They competed for misery. They just, who did less with you?
yeah, like wherever. Well, they both looked at their kids as a pain in the ass. So who would be arguing for more time with the pain in the ass? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I was a Catholic big brother for a while. I had a kid. His name was Nate. And like on the weekend when I would take him, I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to be doing the shit I want to do this weekend. And I'm going to be paying for everything. And we're going to go see a movie that I don't really want to see. And I knew it. I did it.
It's amazing the enthusiasm
I know.
that you handled this.
I
You must have
dutifully,
been terrific at it.
I dutifully did it. But I took him and all his goddamn friends to Knott's Scary Farm. I didn't even go in. I just drove around Knott's Scary Farm for like 6 hours in my car, stopped at a diner, just ate alone, went and saw a movie alone, and picked him up at midnight. And that's not what I wanted to do on a Friday night, but I wanted them to have a good time. My parents would never do that, but the point is they wouldn't be on the hook for it. Getting back to Taylor Swift. The parents now are into what their kids are into.
Okay, yes, I agree.
Just like they're traveling to Arizona for a soccer tournament. You know, now they need to be a fucking part of everything. My parents had no goddamn idea what I was doing any of the time, and that's the way I liked it. And we just took off all day. They didn't need to pretend like they were 14 with their fucking dumb bracelets on and their skinny jeans and their hair extensions. Now, Taylor Swift, she gets the fucking teeny boppers, but she also gets the fucking olds, the parents, the dads who want to be the hip dad, the cool dad. All right, back in the day, they always had pop acts.
Right.
You know, we had the Bay City Rollers in the high school when I was in junior high. The Bay City Rollers. All right. The parents would drop the fucking kids off and leave. They didn't go pretend like they were in the Bay City Rollers because they'd go, fuck that. I'm an adult. This is pop stuff. This is bubblegum. This is for kids. I don't need to look like I'm a part of it. Now the parents need all the celebrities show up. They take selfies. All the cool dads and moms are there. They need to pretend like they're into the pop acts that they were never into formally. Thus, you got to do 7 shows at SoFi.
Yeah.
See where I'm going here?
No, I got what you're saying. I see it. They not only did they drop us off, they didn't even pick us up. Another parent, they didn't even take another parent would come pick you up.
Oh, my parents didn't do the drop off, the pick up, the ticket. There was no such thing. I mean, I didn't see the Bay City Rollers.
No.
But my point is is the parents sure as fuck weren't going in to see them
No.
and take pictures with their kids dressed up like a Bay City roller.
No,
My mom
you're
came
right.
with me to my first concert.
She did?
Well, yeah, it was Blink 182.
Oh,
And-
because she liked them.
Yeah. Well, no, she didn't like them. She didn't even know who they were.
Oh.
But she dropped us off. But they had a special area for the parents.
Oh, really?
And so all the parents hung out in like some room while we got to watch the concert. They hung out there for free.
Like
So
they
that was-
used
that
to
was-
have the area for men to hold the purses at the mall.
Oh, really?
There
Oh,
was
the
an
miserable, yeah, the
area.
couches, all the miserable men areas. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, Taylor,
Yeah, you're right. You're
person
right.
of the year. Thank
Yeah.
you.
She's had a hell of a year, so I think we're okay with this one.
We're
We'll
okay
decide.
with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So Kelsey Grammer's in the news. He did an interview with BBC, and so this radio host claims that he was interviewing Kelsey Grammer, and it was cut short by Paramount representatives because the actor started voicing his support for Donald Trump.
Well, listen, Paramount is interested in making money, and it's considered. Now, I don't see, we have to try to unpack this for a second. If you are going to go and do an interview and with the company that made your movie and start talking about China and their aggressive culture and the Uyghurs and sweat camps and stuff like that, you're going to get cut off.
Correct.
Right. If you work for the NBA and you start talking shit about China, you're going to get cut off. And you're going to get cut off because they perceive they're going to lose money.
That you're
with
hurting
your
their
talk.
business.
Right. Speaking truth to power. They'll cut you off.
Oh, balls.
Okay. So if you are perceived as a Trump supporter, they look at that as taking a financial hit. And so they will cut you off on anything they think is going to affect the finances, the ratings, the bottom line, the way to generate money. So it is understood in Hollywood that if you support Trump, you're then removing yourself from revenue streams.
Okay.
All right. Now, is it true? Because I think that thought is like 5 years old. You know, the number one songs on billboards are all country songs now. Trump is more popular
Than ever.
than Biden. So is it a truth? You know what I mean? Like you go, let's just say Kraft macaroni and cheese is more popular than Acme macaroni and cheese. And so you go up there and you go, oh, I like Kraft macaroni and cheese. They go, don't say that.
Yeah.
We'll get screwed. And it's like, are we going to be screwed? Because there's more people by poll statistically who want to vote for this guy, the guy you say is going to ruin your career if you support him, than the other guy who's not polling as well. Now, Hollywood's always late to the party, and they're surrounded by, it's an echo chamber of their own retarded voices.
Yeah, they're canceling rodeos in this town.
That's where they focus on. But
also
that's
it's
interesting.
It's such a rare opinion too, right? Because like, let's say if we changed it and he started talking about Biden, obviously they wouldn't. He supports Biden. Obviously, they wouldn't have stopped him.
Right.
But it just goes to show that Trump supporters, if they are listening to an interview with Kelsey Grammer and he's like, "Oh, I support Biden," they won't care because everybody supports Biden in Hollywood. So whatever, moving on.
Yeah.
But if somebody says that they do support Trump, that'll cause people to not watch the Frasier reboot or.
Yeah, and by the way, when they say they support Biden, they don't even really mean it. They're just trying not to get canceled. We don't know if they mean it or not.
Right.
That's my point.
It's also a weird thing that we are now in. There's no difference between an actor's personal life and the actor. It's like the TV show. The fact is that we didn't know what other people. We didn't even know if people were gay or not.
No.
Right? Rock Hudson pulled that off.
Yes, he did.
Forever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I had a crush on George Michael.
I had a crush
people
on
pulled it
Ellen,
off.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, people
I'm
pulled it
kidding.
off.
I always knew she was a dyke, but
But that's
I'm
'cause you
using it
ran
as an example.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing now that we have to, like, the other thing is here's this probably someone who's probably 2 decades, 3 decades younger than Kelsey, stopping him mid-sentence.
Well, do we know? Is there a tape of it? Do we I mean,
No, but
how is there not a tape of it if he was being interviewed
Oh, here it is.
by the BBC?
Paramount
I
blocked
got to ask you about politics before we finish. You mentioned Roseanne early on, who had a great comeback, but also was a Trump supporter. At least you were a Trump supporter. I'm fascinated to know if you still are.
I am, and I'll let that be the end of it.
That was the end of it. Though I have to say, actually, Kelsey Grammer himself was perfectly happy to go on talking about it. The Paramount Plus PR people, less happy that he talked about it at some length.
They'll be really thrilled that you mentioned that on there.
I'm really thrilled. Anyway, they decided that we'd had plenty of time for our interview. But I should stress
But these are the people that never stop talking about freedom.
Well,
right?
Paramount
Remember
Plus
freedom?
blocked me from putting my own clips up. And when you look at it on YouTube, it says, this copyright violation by Paramount Plus and Dom Irrera. They think all Italian people are the same.
Dom Irrera?
Yeah, they said it was owned by Dom Irrera because apparently somebody just went through and went, oh, Italian, click.
Are you not his sister?
Yeah, I actually am him. It's a weird,
you are
yeah.
him.
I mean, he transitioned and.
Yeah, if you want to insult a woman, say she looks like Dom Irrera.
Well, it just even the material. I was actually complimented by that you thought my material was his. Okay, but the fact is I had to literally write to YouTube and they lifted the thing right away. But I go, will you please let Paramount Plus know that I know Dom Irrera. I'm friends with Dom Irrera, but I am no Dom Irrera. We are not all the same. So they're trying to be so progressive and they're just backwards.
Yeah, well, they're trying. Okay, they never stop talking about freedom, and they never stop talking about totalitarians and dictators or whatever. But they act that way. They would like any opinion that doesn't mirror their own taken down and deplatformed. I don't know why that's not abundantly clear to everybody. I wouldn't mind it if you just said what you were doing, which is, I disagree, I hate Trump, I love Biden, I'm going to do everything I can. But they wag their finger at you and call you a socialist or you a dictator or you a whatever, and then they hop on top of Mount Pius and talk about freedom while trying to deplatform you from your opinions.
Yeah,
that's fucking
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
And there's only one way to combat it. You have to tell them to shut the fuck up. But a lot of voices need to come out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. People need to come out in strength. I mean, literally, I live in Pennsylvania. When everybody was getting fired because they wouldn't get the vaccine, I'm standing in Walmart behind a group of Amish people who hadn't been vaccinated for smallpox and polio. And I'm like, they blew their science experiment. There are hundreds, if not thousands of Amish in 19 states in this country. And people are walking around going, you, the firemen in New York who didn't take the vaccine, are pushing COVID. You're letting them in with their butter to Walmart. They just don't think the whole picture through. They talk and they talk and they talk and they don't have the full picture in front of them.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with science. It's just if you said, I don't want to take the vaccine, then you went Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
You told them you're a Trump supporter. In their mind, that's what they thought, and that's why it needed to be canceled. It had nothing to do with the vaccine.
Yeah, no, it was a
and
real
masks
thing.
had nothing to do with masks. Nothing had anything to do with anything. They said, we're shutting schools. I said, open the schools. And they said, oh, you support Trump. So now we're coming after you.
Yeah.
That was the entire experiment. That's how it worked. That's where they got their fervor.
What's that called? Trump hysteria, where they just really...
Derangement syndrome.
Derangement syndrome,
Yes.
where they're just blaming.
It's
if there's
awesome.
a flood, it's Donald Trump's fault. What? There was an earthquake? It was his fault.
All right, one more, Chris.
So Diddy, Sean
Oh,
Combs.
Lord.
Yeah, he's been in the news the last few weeks. Started off with his ex-girlfriend Cassie filing a lawsuit over sexual assault, which they settled to their, quote, mutual satisfaction almost immediately.
100 million.
No.
Yes. It was 100
They settled
million.
for $100 million?
100 million.
Hold on.
That's the absolute fact.
He wrote her a check for $100 million?
100 million. That's a lot of
Not
hush
here
money.
to insult
That's
you,
shut
but
the fuck.
That
Look it up.
sounds a little dubious.
I didn't see that, but
That's what it. That's. I'm pretty. That it could
I
be
mean-
what she sued him for.
I don't see that. I
Well,
don't see that
there's
as
a
a
difference.
But I'm pretty sure that's. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Well, I
Look,
don't know
He
if that's a
wrote
mutual
her a
satisfaction
check for $100 million.
Take a look. Look it up. Don't think I'm lying. I could be wrong. I'm
I don't think you're
fallible.
lying. I do not think you're lying. But I think you're wrong, but not lying.
Right.
I would never think you're
I believe it. That's right.
Yeah. Well,
speak
maybe
your truth to power.
That's truth to power.
I don't think it published, but she could have sued him for 100 and settled for 4.5.
That's true.
Is what I'm saying. That
yeah, but
happens
anyway,
a lot.
so that lawsuit has been settled. But then other
Dawson,
women,
look it up. Maybe it's out there.
other women have been coming out, and now, today, he's been accused of rape in a new lawsuit by a woman who says Combs and 2 other men raped her nearly 2 decades ago when she was 17.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's anybody who changes their name that often, they're running from something.
Yeah.
Right.
So we knew.
That's right. Those are aliases.
That's right there. That's what
right
they
there.
are.
It's right in the name change.
So this woman, she's identified as Jane Doe. She said she was still in high school when she was gang raped and sex trafficked by Combs and 2 associates, according to the complaint filed in Manhattan. The woman said she first met Combs and Harve Pierre, the president of Bad Boy Records, at a lounge in Detroit in 2003. She claims that Pierre convinced her to accompany him, a third man, and another member of the group on a private jet back to Combs' recording studio in New York.
She said, "No, I have to catch the bus."
I'm still mad at him for ripping off that horrible Sting police song and pointing to the ceiling when Puffy
I'll be
died.
missing you.
That's a crime that affected me.
But then Sting came out and sang it with him at the MTV Awards.
That's the biggest rip-off of a... God. Dawson,
His
you
friend
find
just
out
died.
anything?
So far, we're seeing 100 mil.
100 mil.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Sued for 100 mil or cut a check for 100?
Settled.
Yeah.
Settled
That's
for
what we're
$100
seeing.
million. I owe you an apology.
Yeah, that's okay.
You'll take it off the air.
Yes.
She wrote a check for $100 million?
That's what I'm saying.
And they're both satisfied with this?
That's not mutual.
He's not.
Wow.
Because if that's what you're settling for.
To be fair, just so people understand, like legally how this works, he probably didn't cut her a check for $100 million. He probably worked something out in quarters and years or something.
For sure.
Like you have 5 years
yeah,
to
who
pay
would
off.
want that's
But
yeah.
she got $20 million up front, and then he's got another 5 years to pay the other 80 off.
But I'd be careful to make sure that it is that it goes to her generations after her, because that's the type of crazy money.
Well, obviously.
What article? Where is this, Dawson? It's like, is it in the Post or the Times, or where's these articles coming from?
Yeah, I thought I just read it on TMZ.
It's on Pescatelli.com.
Yeah.
We moved on from that source. We're still looking.
What was
So I'm
that?
just Googling it.
Because it proved
what
me
was that?
right.
Emmy grabbed it.
God forbid
Emmy
that
grabbed
Tammy
it.
might possibly
And
be correct.
He doesn't have it up anymore, so I don't know the source that came from. But
Ah,
we're
let's
still
tell him to
looking
pull
it
it
up.
There's
back
a
up.
thing that you just Google. It just say Puffy, 100 million settlement.
All right, anyway.
Well, anyway, so the story's pretty horrific as they raped this young girl.
I mean, he's
So-
going to jail.
Well, so he's denying these allegations, of course, and he posted on Instagram just this statement: "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth."
Which name?
Yeah, that's right. Which name? Some of them are better than others.
I think he needs to
Yeah,
get a new one.
Why did Sting endorse that fucking rip-off of his song?
Because
Yuck.
that tantric sex that he and his wife have been working
Yes.
on probably stopped the blood flow
Does
to
this
his
make-
brain.
Well, does
And
this
he's
make
just
you
not-
upset that I first heard "I'll Be Missing You" before "I'll Be Watching You"? Like, that's
Okay.
how I was introduced to that
Stop.
song.
Okay.
That's heartbreaking.
Okay, the original song sucks as well.
Okay.
It's not even a good song. The Police have shitty songs that get played. They have good songs that don't get played nearly as much as the shitty songs. It was never a good song. It was like a Diddy, pardon the pun. And then he ripped it off and then turned it into... all right. Dawson,
So
any
CBS
sources?
CBS is not reporting a settlement. It seems that the 100 million thing is largely unconfirmed, but That's the only information as far as a monetary amount that we are seeing.
Oh, so where did
But
Emmy
they're not
find
from
the 100?
valuable news sources.
When did Emmy? Where was Emmy's 100 million from? He'll tell you. I don't know. Just shout at him.
He just says some other news site.
They don't label their news site or
again, it's gone.
It's none of your business.
It's in the ether.
It's
It's
from
done.
He is doing this on his phone. I'm also looking.
He's on
over
Don't
here.
worry about
That's
where I get my
found-
information
where I
from.
found 100 million.
Not
There
everyone.
seems
Hold
to be
on!
gossip
Don't
stuff.
stop talking. Don't everyone talk at one time. It's stupid and it's bad. All right, I'm just curious. That's all.
There are 4 videos that come up. Breaking: Sean Diddy Combs pays Cassie $100 million.
All right.
That just says it's from somebody's TikTok channel, but there are several of these.
All right.
So
No real valuable news source that we can.
Yeah. I can't
Besides
believe
me.
it. I can't believe it's $100 million, but it's a fucking lot. Jesus Christ. Ooh. All right. Let's see. David Fishof's going to come in here. Can I tell you, I felt stupid. David, who I did the comedy fantasy camp with, but, he created the rock and roll fantasy camp, and he also worked back in the day with everyone but Ringo Starr, right?
Yeah.
And the All-Star Band. And I was sitting around backstage in North Dakota at the theater I was playing last week, and I was just walking around, and you look at all the posters of all the bands and all the comedians and everyone who's been there before you. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at a poster for Ringo's All-Star Band, and I've, of course, known about Ringo's All-Star Band for 35 years. And I stopped, I looked at the poster, and I said, Ringo's All-Star Band. And then I went, oh, he spells All-Star with 2 R's. Oh, I get it. I've been walking around the planet for 40 years not getting the All-Star joke of Ringo Starr double R. I feel foolish. And now I owe David an apology.
Well, you're an auditory guy. So.
I'm an auditory guy. I never read anything.
That's right.
So
There
I
you
didn't
go.
think you'd have to read it. But backstage in Fargo last week, I found myself.
That's the Mandela effect, isn't it?
That's right.
That's what that is right there, where we think it's one thing. The perception is actually different than the truth, but we believe it, just like the 100 million.
All right, we'll take a break. Is Tammy's going to swap out with David. Is that correct? All
Sure.
right. Tammy Pescatelli, always fun, always brings it. Thank you very much, my dear. Podcast. I'll hit all your plugs at the end of the show.
Thank you for having me.
Always great seeing you, and we'll do David Fishof right after this. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Well, they have a holiday gift guide, and it's here. So if you're struggling with gift ideas, they have something for everyone with gifts starting at under $10. They've got deals for the mechanic on your list, and you can save on work lights, tools, and more, and help those who like to help themselves. Choose from great gift ideas to help someone make their car look its best inside and out, and save on cleaning supplies like washing and drying cloths, floor mats, steering wheel covers, seat covers. It's all there. The holiday gift guide also has the emergency supplies you need for your loved ones to stay safe. Save now on tire inflators and Super Start 12-foot jumper cables. The professional parts people will help you pick out the perfect gift for that hard-to-buy-for person on your list this year. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
They told me potato gun, a newborn king to see potato gun. Our finest gift we bring, potato gun, to lay before the king, potato gun, potato gun. Potato gun.
David Fishof is here. He founded the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, and 25th anniversary, by the way. worked with so many people. I mean, just people I would assume would never work in a rock and roll fantasy camp. Roger Daltrey and Ringo Starr and so many Joe
Frampton.
Walsh, Frampton, Peter Frampton, who I love and I've never interviewed. You got to get me Peter Frampton.
Yeah, he probably now he's got a tour going out. He's been on his never-ending, another final tour. But he's getting better. He's had some issues with his hands, and but I'm glad he's still working.
Yeah, I just saw him play with Shania Twain at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He sat in for that performance.
He suffered from being such an idol. He was like a matinee idol. Yeah. It was all about the hair. He had this big golden hair.
Yeah.
And then he starred in movies, and people thought he was some pretty boy, David Cassidy type. They didn't know he was a real rock and roll guitar player. So he got kind of not taken seriously to a certain
and then when
extent.
he did that movie, and so
he did Sgt. Pepper's
Sgt.
Lonely
Pepper's,
Heart.
yeah.
Which would sound, if you take people that are 25 and show them that movie, they'll just go, what the fuck? What were the Bee Gees and George Burns and Alice Cooper? Like crazy cocaine-fueled weird Hollywood ideas.
One of my favorite stories was I was in Milwaukee on tour with Ringo, and I'm sitting next to, and we're standing in the lobby. Peter's with me, and Lou Pinella's in the hotel. They're playing the Milwaukee Brewers, and we were going to go to a game, and some lady walks over to me and says, is Peter Frampton, Mr. Fishof, is Peter Frampton around? And he was right near me. He cut off his hair.
Right.
Right. So you didn't recognize him. And they thought their eyes sort of looked like, Peter's an amazing guitar player. And he got the recognition when later years, I think.
He had to cut his hair off.
He had to cut his hair off, and then he finally got a Grammy.
Do you know what Frampton Comes Alive record album looks like, Max Banner?
Yeah.
It's all about his hair.
I know.
It's the light coming through. He looks like an angel. Or one of Charlie's Angels, actually, with the hair. It was all about the hair.
All about the hair.
Then he lost his hair, and now we can focus on him being a great guitar player.
Yep.
So get me that interview. When's he coming? Is he coming to L.A.?
I didn't see it on the schedule, but I'm going to look up. I want to set you up with his people.
He just hit the road. He actually wanted to meet up with us in Nashville.
Oh, really?
But he hit the road.
I did a Family Guy episode that he did a voice in, too. My Family Guy episode where I played Death throughout the whole episode, I think it was called Death Lives, has Peter Frampton making a cameo at the end of that episode, except for obviously we're never in the same room. I never met him.
I got to believe he's going to want to see you, because the last time I saw him, we were sitting next to each other. I was at the Comedy Store, and there he was right next to me. So.
You didn't even go together?
What? No, we didn't go together. And all of a sudden, we're sitting at the next table. So obviously, he's a fan.
Of comedy.
We'll
see if he likes my takes.
Yeah.
Now, we're doing a Comedy Fantasy Camp Volume 2. First one went great. Second one is coming up February 29th to March 3rd. And that'll be 2024, obviously. And you can go to adamcarolla.com and you can register. But it was a good, like, Reese's peanut butter cup of you doing rock and roll fantasy camp for all these years and us going, why not do comedy fantasy camp, and you being smart enough to go, yeah, I think that would work. And all the comedians coming out and loving it.
Oh, it was amazing, and you learn so much from doing the first one, because you don't know what it is. And then I realized that, what we do at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, the reason it's worked is that we put them in small groups, and they'll get mentored, and we learned from this time what we can do, better next time. But I thought it was great, and then like you just said, Carolla Ray, she came, she did it one day, and now she insisted, David, I want to do 4 days, and she's going to come for 4 days. I want to work with these people. I want to see their final performance. I want to write with them. She got so enthused. And
well, mentorship, it's something we've lost our way on in this country a lot, like mentors, and maybe it's because it seems masculine. It's got the word men in it or something. We've rejected anything that used to work in this country. Mentorship, like, I learned to be a carpenter because I had a bunch of dudes who were carpenters who let me apprentice with them, and they taught me how to do this, and they like it. It feels good. I think Caroline Ray or any of the people that showed up, Kevin Hench, myself, Leno, they actually appreciate sharing what they know, their experiences with people. They like it. It's not a bother for them, and it's an important way to learn, and it should be revisited in this country. And we brushed it aside a little bit.
Yeah, and I think what the celebrity feels, he wants to give back, but more important, they feel it reminds them what it was like when they first started. So when you see these people, I think you quoted one saying you need 10,000 hours to get on the stage and to really get great. And I think that you can learn a lot. And when you get these mentors who want to teach it, and I thought Jay was amazing also. His lines to one of my favorite was a guy says he does his routine for 3 minutes, and then Jay says, "What do you do for a living?" The guy says, "I'm a doctor." He said, "Well, your opening line should be, hey, I'm a doctor, and now and now I'm a comedian. My parents hate me."
Right.
And just to get that insight. Listen, when you've climbed the mountain and you've reached the highest levels in our industry, what's there left to do but to give back? So I think it's been great.
Well, also, there's a couple of stories I like to tell, which is when I had my sort of car shop over the way from here, and it was all the cars parked and memorabilia and stuff like that. And then every once in a while, people would go, "Oh, my dad's in town. He's a huge car guy, and I know it's a pain in the ass, but could we come by on a Saturday and walk around and show him the cars?" And I would always say yes if I was in town. And then I would walk around the cars and show the guys the cars. And they go, "Oh, it's so cool. Oh, man. Oh, do you drive this one?" And I go, "Yeah, I would race this one sometimes." They go, "Oh, so cool." And then at the end, they would say, the person who dragged their dad out would go, "That meant so much to him. So awesome. So glad you did it. I know it's a pain in the ass on the Saturday or whatever." And I'd go, "No, I feel better now because this guy walked around and marveled at shit that I take for granted." And when you do something like even going out, I was doing a show last weekend in Huntsville, Alabama, and the guy who middled for me, Shuli Agar, who's a fan of mine, he went out there and he goes, "You know this guy from The Man Show. You know this guy from Crank Yankers. He's a New York Times best-selling author. He makes documentaries." And I was sitting back there going, "Oh, yeah.
What an intro.
That feels pretty good."
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah.
And so for a guy like Jay Leno to sit in a room full of people whose questions are like, "You've done everything. You're a comedy legend. You've been in this top of your game for," like, it feels pretty good to answer questions about how great you are.
Or that, and also to see, I think what I loved the most was what Carolyn did too, was they said, "Let me see your act." And then they would really respond to them and then show them directly. But yeah, no, listen, Joe Perry, I remember the first time he did Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, I got a 2-page letter from him. "This was inspirational for me. I'm going to write my book now." I think you can get something inspired out of it if you're a super talent, and we've seen it. It's worked in camp, and it's working now in comedy.
What's the next Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp?
So I got it. Next camp's going to be in February, President's Day weekend, with Stone Temple Pilots and Nancy Wilson and Chris Slade from AC/DC.
Wow,
and
it's weird. It's 25 years old, so they're bands that were forming when you were doing the first one who are now coming in and doing mentors.
The Stone Temple Pilots, it's their 4th camp, and they just love it, and they keep coming back. Nancy also has done it 4 times, and she said to me, "David, you got to be there. Otherwise, I don't want to do it." Because last time I was gone that day, but I enjoy it. She really loves it. She did a camp with men and women first time, and then we did an all women's camp. And she just loved it, So this one's going to be for both. And, here she is. She's going on a tour. The Heart's getting back together. They're going out starting New Year's Eve. And here she's doing camp because, again, she feels good about, giving back.
First off, is anyone aging out of anything? I mean, we just talked about Norman Lear. He's working on projects at 101 years old.
Great.
But I'm thinking back, like Ringo Starr. What is he? 87 years old?
He's 83 now, 84, and he's he keeps working. He just loves to work. I always say, when you're on the road, you're a Beatle. When you're home, you're a schmuck. You know, your wife tells you to throw out the trash. Oh, I'd rather be on the road. You know, I think every artist feels the same way.
Ringo's 83. He was a Beatle. I mean, I know everyone knows it, but it's kind of insane.
The Who also. Look at Mick Jagger. The Rolling Stones are going back out this year. Okay, so, I mean, the Kiss says they're not going to go back out, but it's that adulation of the stage. You know, I remember Roger Daltrey telling me one day, I want to be like Joan Rivers. I said, why? He said she did a show and then she died the next morning. I love the stage, and he needs the stage.
Do you think Kiss is going to go back out?
Oh, absolutely. Come on. The first guy offers them a big check. How do you say no to that?
Yeah, I mean, rock bands are like heavyweights who retire, which is someone's got to cut them a check, and then they come out of retirement.
Yeah, I remember Paul Stanley told me 10 years ago, that's it, I'm not doing it, and I'm gone. That's 10 years ago, and I'm not traveling. I don't want to travel. So, but Kiss going to come out of it. That's my belief, Why not? They got all the money from all those people.
Your mic's no.
Oh, it didn't feel like a final show. I didn't think it got enough coverage to be Kiss's last show or anything like that. It wasn't that big of a bang.
They got the newspaper. They got the tokens.
Cher's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I used to.
But why should you quit if the audience still wants you? Why should you quit?
There was a Man Show bit. Maybe Dawson can find it, but I don't know if we ever relabel our bits.
Byron, did you label those yet? Not yet.
Not yet? Oh, but maybe.
How long ago did we talk about that?
Well, it's like 6 months.
Let's do this later. What's the bit?
This weekend, maybe?
What's the bit?
It's a new world order. All right. Well, if you can find it. I went to a Cher concert when I was doing the Man Show, because I used to do this bit called "What the hell are you doing here?" And I just stood in the parking lot and asked every guy who showed up to the Cher concert, "What the hell are you doing here?" But I don't know that we can find it because Brian hasn't gotten around to it, or he found it. We found it this fast.
How about that?
But Byron, I would still like you to do the thing I asked you to do 6 months ago. Thanks.
Sure.
Okay.
Cher was in concert over here the other night, and I stopped by to ask the men in attendance, what the hell are you doing here? I'm standing outside of LA's famous Staples Center, where Cher is the marquee attraction tonight. What the hell are you doing here?
Good question. My wife wants to go, so I brought her along.
I see.
That's it.
Let me ask you a question. Hypothetically. It's going to be a crowded night, and sometimes the ladies' room can get, the line gets pretty long.
That's where
you ever just feel like sneaking away and going to the men's room? Just a quick question. Where do you keep his testicles?
Oh, God.
Oh, just whisper it. I know you don't want him to find it. What part of the house? You want to see Cher?
Yes.
They don't have any form of entertainment in Romania?
No, I'm going to distract Romania.
No. I noticed you're wearing a Hooters shirt.
That's what got me into this thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit of sacrilege there, wouldn't you say? I mean, it's like wearing
Hooters at the Cher concert?
Yeah, it'd be like wearing a 2 Live Crew T-shirt to a Klan rally or something. How long have you been cultivating the gay pirate look?
Saw Cher in Vegas 20 years ago.
That's right. She was 57 at the time. Do you like Cher?
Yeah.
Okay, let me talk to your mom for a second. How old's the lad?
He's 11.
You realize you're turning him gay? You told him you're going to a hockey game, didn't
All
you?
right. I just had that.
Okay, that's the common denominator. Cher, how young is her boyfriend?
Her boyfriend is 33 or something, and she's
37. Her boyfriend's 37. She is 77.
Okay, and Mick
she's
Jagger?
the age I said she was then,
Right.
but I did the bit 20 years ago. That's weird. I just said she was.
She's 20. Yeah, 20 years ago she was 57.
Right, or whatever the joke was. That
And
means she'd be
Mick
90
Jagger,
now.
how young is his girlfriend now? In the 30s?
I believe it.
Yeah.
So that's the key. There's your answer. They
That's
keep
the key to
touring. They
life.
keep getting older. Just find younger partners.
Yes, it's got a bit of a Dracula kind of, leanings to it. Kind of a fountain of youth. Picture Dorian Gray or something like that. Yeah, Cher is. I don't know. She won't retire, and I can't remember. I do remember doing that bit. The Cher concert was at like 8:00, and I always had to go to do Loveline at 10:00 at night on K-Rock. So I'd always go, we got to set up at 7, and then we'll have 2 hours to talk to people, and then I got to hustle out of here and get to my day job, which was my night job at the time. So how many campers are you how many campers can you take for rock and roll fantasy camp versus like comedy fantasy camp?
We took 80, which is a lot, but we're now that they're going to be in rock camp, we do the same thing. The fact that they're going to have their own writing groups, groups of 8 to 10 with a comedian for 4 days, and then that experience I think will be the working with Caroline and working with with these comedy mentors and these writers. They'll get a more personalized experience, and we'll break them up in groups. So the final show, we'll do 2 shows. We'll separate, because I know last time we got long, but at the Comedy Store, they got different rooms.
All right.
It's Comedy Store now.
Yeah, the Comedy Store. Yeah, we're going to move to the Comedy Store.
From the Improv.
Yeah, the Improv. The Improv's great, and then just do something different. And
we did porn fantasy camp on the main show, too. Not that we need to revisit that, but I do remember that shoot. Too, another nighttime shoot where I had to get the hell out of there. So we take over the Comedy Store for that day?
That day we're going to take the whole Comedy Store over.
So you can get the original room, the main room, and the belly room.
Right. All those rooms we're going to get. And then we'll be able to divide the campers in the different groups, and we'll be able to run a simultaneous show. So we'll not have to go so long. And
I sorry for cutting you off. But
no, not at all.
If I'm complimenting you, then I get to cut you off. Which is, I always say, the compliment in life is the second date. The first date anyone can do, but it's always the second. Do you get the second date? Now we'll figure out how the first date went. And the fact that you reached out to guys like Leno and Caroline Ray and others, and they all went, sign me up, I'm in for round 2, is a tip of the cap for their experience of the first fantasy camp.
Exactly. I'm so happy that they loved it. They had a great time, and then they told other comics. So, John Lovett heard about it, and from another comic. And when I reached out to him, he said, "I'm in." So, and then we got Trevor Wallace, and now we're going to go with a younger comic. A young guy who he's got 21 million followers.
Everything he does goes viral.
Everything he does is viral, and he's a fan of yours. He's a fan of the people he started with. So I think it's going to be great to get younger comics in there also, and people can learn a lot.
Agreed. Fantasy Camp Volume 2, end of February, beginning of March. You just go to mcarolla.com and you can sign up. Yes.
Before we get out of here, I want to get Mr. Fishof's take, because he loves music.
Oh, yeah. Do we have our polling in?
Yes.
Okay.
So, which song is worse? Man-Eater by Hall & Oates.
Okay.
Or I Was Made for Lovin' You by Kiss.
Wow. God, I know all those guys because they've both been to camp. Which is worse?
Yeah.
And did you see the Hall & Oates? Oh, I'm sorry?
Man-Eater.
Man-Eater's worse. Okay.
You're right. Man-Eater's the worst song ever created.
Yeah.
Did you see the Hall &
the
Oates
worst
restraining order
song.
coming?
Oh, the lawsuit coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it coming? I
remember going to see John Oates. I went up to see him in Tahoe, and right before a show, and he's sitting alone, and John's all alone. I said, "Where's Daryl?" He said, "I don't know." I was warned up front that those guys don't talk, so they've been, they show up separate times. And
whose fault is it?
You're asking me to be the judge here. I think the guy has the rights to sell his music, and half of it. And I think it's unfair that, you co-write the songs, and today it should be his separate, he should be able to go, and you co-wrote them, so you can sell your share to that company.
But cosmically or practically, who's at fault? Like, I've had a lot of falling outs with people over the years, and there's people I went to high school with, and we don't talk anymore. Certain beefs with family members. It's always all their fault. It has nothing to do with me.
Right.
I'm a saint. But it doesn't in the sense that you will decide how our relationship goes, not me. That's what I always say. I don't know you well.
Right.
But you and I will have a long and fruitful relationship, or it'll get cut short and it'll be shitty. But that'll be your call. And if you want to be menschy and regular and normal and a decent person, fair-minded, whatever, then we'll go on forever. Or if you want to do something, then we won't, but that'll be on you. Now, everybody doesn't talk to me anymore feels that way about me. That's the rub, except for I never do anything to anybody. It's just at some point they do something that's fucked up or shitty or unscrupulous or something, or they have an expectation that's out of bounds. That's too far. You want to be fair, you want to meet in the middle, you want to compromise, we'll go on forever, or we won't. That'll be up to you. Which one of Hall and Oates is the one? Somebody's the difficult one. Somebody's the pain in the ass.
I mean, I know John, and I know he's a good guy, and I don't know Daryl well, but I think what John's trying to do is to sell his share of the music, because all these musicians are trying to sell their share for tax reasons and to leave the legacy for their family. And, but I see where John, I see Daryl's point too, that he thinks he's going to lose control of his songs, and he doesn't want to. So, it's not that easy in this situation, but I think the guy should be able to sell he wrote half that music. It's all, it's established. And the companies that he's selling to, I know the company well, and I think that they would, they would not hurt. They do AC/DC, they do Def Leppard. So you're not selling it to a company that's going to put in porno films,
What kind of money do you think that catalog's worth?
Probably about $250 million each.
So $500 million?
Yeah, I would say $500 million.
That means we would have to assign a number to Maneater.
Yeah, that's a nice
Someone's
chunk of it.
going to have to go like Maneater, that was number one, gets a lot of spins, got to be worth $37 million of that. And I'm never going to stop throwing up. I'm never going to stop throwing up. It's the worst number one song. Well, it's the worst song ever written, but the worst number one song ever is Maneater. And I'm glad you see that.
You don't know what the people thought?
Yeah, what did the people think?
Maneater is worse. 59% say Maneater's worse, so 59 to 40.
Then I Was Made for Loving You. I Was Made for Loving You is just a simple, insulting song in that certain songs are so simple, they're nursery rhymes, and I'm insulted that adults created it. That's what I would say about
Maneater is an attack to you.
Maneater is an assault on your senses and any thinking person, sonically and verbally as well.
They had a revival because it's a big part of that movie No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. And as I said, I don't know if I said it, but G. Smith was their lead guitar guy.
You didn't, not on air.
From SNL.
SNL, yeah, great guy.
Yeah, except for I hate him.
Really?
I hate guys with straight hair.
The look.
The hair.
That's what we like Frampton.
I hate it when guys fuck with their hair. G. Smith would play a guitar lick, and this big tuft of blonde hair would fall out in front of his face, and then he'd throw it back as if he expected it to stay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like the chicks that do the one finger hair thing. Your hair, it doesn't have Velcro on the end of it. You're just moving it. It's essentially like you saying, I'm going to move this thing and expect it not to move back and do what it already did, except for that's an impossibility. It'd be like going to the park and taking the swing and pulling it back and holding it and going, all right, stay there. And then walking forward and, oh, it swung forward again. I'm going to get it again. Hold it. That's what assholes do with their hair. He played his guitar lick. He thought he looked cool. His hair would fall in front of him. He'd throw it back. It would fall right back in front of him. He'd throw it back again. Get a fucking barrette.
Or get hairspray.
Or hairspray. Or bobby pin.
Right, bobby pin. Frampton never did that.
No, his hair poofed out. Stayed out. All right, let's see. David, again, you can go to amcroll.com and find out all the information on it. And Deaf Frat Guy, you can hit him at Deaf Frat Guy, shoot him a tweet. Tammy Pescatelli, check her out, the Cop and the Comedians, her podcast. I'm going to be in Vegas tonight at Jimmy's Club doing stand-up shows there, so come on out and say hi. Rancho Mirage, Agua Caliente Casino stand-up. That'll be December 16th. Second show. First show sold out. Solana Beach coming up January 7th. Just go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. And until next time, Adam Carolla for David Fishof, Deaf Frat Guy, and Tammy Pescatelli and Chris Raxpata saying mahalo.